Life in the dark has become synonymous with South Africa. Eskom has said that the implementation of load shedding at various stages will now become the country's new way of life as it attempts to tackle the energy crisis. While South Africa grapples with keeping the lights on, health experts say the ongoing power cuts are taking a toll on the mental well-being of many people. Since the country plunged into rolling power cuts, many people are struggling with getting through the day.
So a lot of people are struggling around navigating load shedding, navigating how they're feeling, navigating the options. So, with regards to work, with regards to school, with regards to actually being in electricity space right now. I don't have power right now.
Widespread uncertainty among the public on how to cope with mental distress due to power cuts remains a major concern.
I think it's so important for those people to share what they're experiencing, right? The biggest problem around mental health is the stigma. We have to talk about it. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you know that this is actually impacting your mental health, you're not able to sleep, your eating has changed, maybe you're just feeling so frustrated and overwhelmed that your entire routine has been struggling, right? And you're trying to adapt to this different type of living with this load shedding, is to reach out.
Only about 5% of the national health budget in the country is allocated to mental health care, leaving the majority of people relying on the provision of community-centered services. The power outages are also causing disruptions to accessing community-based mental health care, with counseling services hardest hit.
Counseling yaka load shedding nako e a senono a beileng gore ke tle ka yone o tlhelele gore ke nako e load shedding e leng teng e be ke nna late ka lebaka la gore load shedding e teng ka lebaka la gore ke tla tswa ke sa ja and then le metsi nka se tlhape ke sa a le tsididi. I'm a cardiac patient, ke na dipilisi ene ke na le bana ngwana ke o mongwe o na le depression, o mongwe o na le defeats, and load shedding ira gore bana ba ska na dipilisi ka nako ebile ba ske ba ja sentle ka nako and ya re affecta ntho ya re stress.
I think this also affected lots of problem in the family, because if, for an example, my husband come home, I didn't cook, we ended up fighting. I do believe that those that are on the higher level of the offices whereby they are dealing with electricity, they are not even aware of what are we facing as the entire family, what are people facing in the family about this thing of electricity, mentally, physically, and everything.
Much of the public interest is focused on the impact load shedding has on businesses and the economy. According to the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, SADAG, there is insufficient research data on the exact ways the ongoing power cuts affect our feelings and mental well-being. As a result, SADAG has embarked on a national research study together with a researcher from the University of Johannesburg to establish how the load shedding is affecting people mentally in their daily lives.
I think for a lot of the respondents, and what we found were people going through anxiety, people going through stressful situations, and the feeling of isolation. Because if we look at it, anxiety builds up from your patterns being disruptive, and stress comes from not being able to attend to your work and your normal functionality. It becomes more difficult for you to communicate with family members, with loved ones, and there's a sense of isolation. And I think for a lot of people, they do feel alone.
The general public's experiences mirror some of these key findings, with many saying the load shedding is indeed affecting their mental well-being.
It is totally depressing, We have completely lost hope and no hope at all. I mean, absolutely every day there is absolutely no hope regarding the load shedding.
Frustrating very bad. It's very bad.
And I'm confused with the phases. Phase 3, phase 2, phase 4, phase 6. So I don't understand it at all.
Oh, anxiety. You don't know if it's coming on, if it's going off, if it's going off at the right time, if it's coming on at the right time. That app doesn't work because it never works.
Load shedding, when you think about it and how it makes you feel.
Down, bad, and out. Just when you want to sit down and relax, me in my older age, it's affecting me mentally, psychologically. So it's affecting all spheres of our lives, and this is not on.
Many people have described navigating through daily life amidst the rolling blackouts as an added pressure. However, the research study may bring some light on how best to scale up mental health care services and coping mechanisms for people across the country, bearing in mind that it may be lights out for much longer than anticipated. Zandile, Myeza, SABC News, Johannesburg.